Hi everyone, welcome back to HowTechs. Today we have the Google Home voice-activated speaker by Google, and we are going to be doing an unboxing and setup introduction. So let's just take a quick look at the box. Mentions that it's a Wi-Fi, it can do voice recognition, etc. You set it up with your either iOS or Android phone using the Google Home app, and you can do hi-fi sound, etc., etc. A couple of the functions: you can use it to select music, you can basically do Google searches via voice through it, you can use it to do things like alarms, shopping lists, to-do lists, etc. And then you can also sync it, of course, with your schedules, and you can use it to control your smart home appliances. And they have some examples. The main thing is here, OK Google is your voice prompt. And so let's take a quick look inside the box. Get these guys open. One on this side. One other interesting thing is it lists some of the services it works with, pretty much anything Google related. YouTube Music, obviously their Nest things, Google Play Music, Google Chromecast, and also Pandora. So let's get this guy open. And now we have this box, which has this lift tab on it, and voila. Interesting presentation. So it's basically a Wi-Fi Bluetooth speaker with some search capabilities. And on the bottom we have basically a power jack, and that's pretty much it, I think, as far as inputs and outputs. We have a mute button on the front, we have some lights, and then I think this thing lights up as well. So let's take a look inside the box. So this is just I guess a place to kind of helps it lock in on that power port. So here's our power pack and some instructions. So let's take a look at the book first. So microphone on off, power status light, and then the microphone, which is, I think we can see here. So we have actually two microphones, and then the entire top surface is a touch surface, so this is touch activated, and then there's some light up multicolored lights here. For input output, you can basically tap once to do stop or pause audio. You circle to go up or down in volume, and then a long press basically does a request. And here's how you connect the cable, plug into the wall, and get your Google Home app on iOS or Android. Kind of ironic that they put iOS above Android on their own product. So what else do we have? Here's some basic commands. Just start with OK Google and stop, turn up, volume level 6, playing your day, when's my event, what's the weather today, what's the latest news, how's the S&P doing, and then you can do kind of the Google Maps related searches. What's the nearest pharmacy, when do they close, what's their phone number. Music wise, play some music. You can actually request specific artists, play dance music on YouTube. That's actually pretty interesting. You can do timers, you can do media, control the media. If you have, I guess this is if you have Chromecast, you can control your home if you have the Nest, thermostat, etc. And then you can do all kinds of fun stuff. If you Google around, you can find some of these commands, like you can have it do trivia questions and things like that. Warranty information, and you can actually get different colored bases to match your home, which I guess this is the standard gray one. And then we have our plug, and that's pretty much it for in here. Okay, so let's see. Should light up. Pretty cool.
Welcome to Google Home. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Okay, so I've actually got the Google Home app. Let's give it a try. So welcome to Google Home. Looking for devices. So it actually found it. Okay, great. Play test sound. Did you hear? Yeah, I heard the sound. Okay, so you have to select a region. Let's see if it works from where I am right now, which is actually in Hong Kong, which is way down here. Okay. May not pick up out. Okay, well that's strange. Let's say we're in the shed. So we'll connect to our Wi-Fi. Let's connect. Meet your Google Assistant. So Google Assistant is actually the search, voice recognition based search, and that's sort of built into the speaker system. To get started, connect your Google account. Okay. So we have to, of course, we have to use a Google account. So let's sign into one. Okay, so once you select your Google account and you select it, it goes into waiting for device. So this actually downloads your info, probably your contacts and everything, into here as well. Now that it's connected, it's showing up here in my device list. And if you go to here, you can actually go to guest mode, reboot, or settings. So let's try settings. And then within here, you can do different settings for home control. Choose English in your iPhone language. Okay, this is pretty stupid. Okay, so apparently it's giving me an error because I'm selecting English as my iPhone language and not US English as my iPhone language. So that's a really bizarre error, kind of very picky. If I was doing UK English, it's not okay, but general English is not okay, very strange. So now I have to reset my phone into US English as opposed to just English. It's not just that you have to have the phone in English and then specifically in US English, you also have to have the region be in the United States. Otherwise, it doesn't even access any of the information. So it's a little peculiar. It's not the language, it's not where the account is set up, but it's actually the physical settings on your phone which you happen to be using to interface with this thing also affect whether it works or not. So that's kind of strange and kind of disappointing. But let's take a look at the settings in here and see what we can access now. So music-wise, you can access music from Google Play Music, YouTube Music, which is their premium service, Spotify, Pandora. You can do shopping lists. You can check your news sources. So for news, you can choose which one you want. If you want NPR, BBC, etc. And I guess you can add additional ones. Oh, so there's a whole bunch more that you can get news from. And then you can set up, the TVs that you can talk to as well. And then I guess services. Okay, so these are similar to the skills on the Amazon Echo, which are sort of special functions that you can download, which include things like games or special routines. Like in that case, they had ambient noise, ocean sounds, etc. You can set your location, language again. So in this case, you can't even select it, I guess, because it said previously you can only do English. And then for things like, I guess, downloading music or buying things, you need to put in payment information. Okay, Google, what time is it?
The time is 3:11 a.m.
Okay, Google, what is the weather in Boston?
In Boston today, it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 10 and a low of 3. It's 10 and partly cloudy.
Okay, Google, turn up the volume. Okay, Google, what is the headline for today?
Here's the latest news from ABC World News tonight at 8:45 a.m. yesterday.
The new attack. President Trump taking aim late today after calling the White House a fine-tuned machine amidst...
Okay, Google, next.
From NPR News Summary at 3 a.m. today.
play.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from TransferWise, the marvelously simple way to send money between...
Okay, Google, Volume 10. Okay, Google, Volume 5. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Google Home. It's actually pretty cool once you get it set up. Overall, the setup process was pretty fast. There's not really anything to set up once it's plugged in. The only thing is you have to get the Google Home app, and the only really tricky part that I didn't like was the fact that, as I mentioned, you have to set, currently with the current version at least, you have to set your phone to US English and then also to US region. Otherwise it doesn't work, even though like I can have my region set to be in a different country and it can actually give me results based on the country I'm in. It will only work if your phone is set the right way. So that's a little bit weird. One other kind of funny thing I noticed, I was actually in the other room listening to some videos demonstrating this product, and even on the speaker, if it would say "Okay Google," this thing would turn on, and that was actually pretty impressive. So the idea that you could be anywhere in your house and kind of shout out, "Okay Google, what time is it?" and then it would actually tell you is actually pretty cool. Okay, so that's the setup, and we'll save the demo for the second video, so please check that out. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. Check out our other videos for the Google Home and many other products. Thanks, see you next time. One other tip, I found that if you press this, the button, it'll actually pause it. So if you're in the middle of a conversation, your phone is somewhere else, you just want to